Good to see you this evening. And had a special request by someone in the Facebook group if I would talk more about meditation. So today it's about meditation. Meditation has really changed my life. It's not that it changes your personality or I think it makes you more mindful, which we talk a lot about being mindful, but it also gives us